Early the next morning, we entered to the center of Hiroshima city to check our house and to look for my father and brother. When we entered the city, we could hardly believe our eyes. It looked like hell. All of the houses were burned out completely, and the buildings were collapsed by the deadly bombing. It was very hard to work in the city. All of the roads were covered with the hot lava. Water pipes had burst and were spouting here and there, and electric wires were cut down on the ground. The bodies of dead and dead horses covered the ground. We could tell if the dead bodies belonged to the child or adult, but we couldn't tell if they were male or female because they were so burned. Many dead bodies were in the river and in the fire-fighting water tanks. They must have wanted water or were trying to escape the heat of the fires. Among the rivers in Hiroshima, the Motoyas River was the closest to the epicenter, and therefore many dead bodies could be seen floating in the river. Depending on the high tide and ebb tide, the dead bodies drifted up and down stream. Finally, we reached the office where my father was working. It located in the busy downtown hub of Hiroshima, called Hachobori. We found a skull in his office, and we identified that it was my father's. To this day, we still haven't been able to find my younger brother's or his body. So that is why there is only a handful of sand in his gravestone instead of his bones. The first A-bomb test occurred in the United States on July 16, 1945, only 3 weeks before the bombing over Hiroshima. On July 16, 1945, the United States, United Kingdom, and Soviet Russia announced the Potsdam Declaration, that is to say, unconditional surrender. The world situation was hopeless, but Japanese military authorities didn't want to give up. If Japan had accepted it at that time, the United States would not have dropped the A-bomb on Hiroshima. I think that the difference between conventional and nuclear weapons is huge. The atomic bomb's power is much more powerful than conventional bombs. Nuclear weapons expound everything on the earth, even the human mind. How many innocent people have been sacrificed in the Hiroshima and in the world? When Pope John Paul II visited Hiroshima on February 21st, 1981, he said that war is a work of man. War is the destruction of human life. War is this. I truly and deeply think through. My own appeal is as follows. War is cruel. Peace is wonderful. War is misery. Peace is beautiful. War is silly. Peace is great. War makes evil in human beings. Peace makes love among human beings. It is very important for us to keep Hiroshima in our mind forever. The atom bomb does not only stand alone, but it is always saying to us, never use nuclear weapons on us again. If they are used again, mankind will fall into ruin forever. Please remember Hiroshima. No more Hiroshima. No more Nagasaki. No more Auschwitz. No more World Trade Center building. Eternal peace is the hope of Hiroshima's mind. Because of my terrible experience from a bomb, I deeply wish for the abolition of nuclear weapons and for lasting peace in the world.